Vladimir is from Naperville, and for those who don't know Vladimir, Vladimir is a immigrant from Czechoslovakia who came here in 1984, and he sees what's happening because he's lived it.
Oh.
Okay? So everybody, this is Vladmir Sliva.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to Fred, but thanks for the introduction. You know, definitely I lived in Czechoslovakia with my wife over there, and all our 8 children were born here, including that one. And so what we are really concerned about losing freedom, and you know, we were born into basically socialism in Czechoslovakia, my wife and I, and so when we see it happening here, you know, coming slowly but kind of surely, okay, unfortunately, we do everything we can to avoid it. And like Fred said, not for us, but for our kids and our grandkids. Because I'll give you one specific thought or example. You know, my wife's mother was old enough to maybe do something against communism when it was coming. So my wife asked her way back, you know, why did you let it happen? You know, and the answer was, well, we didn't know it would be that bad. Okay, so sounds familiar, right? Kind of, you know. So now I really value this group because this is the most effective group I've seen. You know, that's why we joined, and we actually were on the very first overpass, or the very first day, okay, in our area. And basically, this group does recognize, so I don't have to explain to you what we are doing. You know, the nice thing is, we all know that the media is a big part of that problem. And so well, we have the impeach Obama and some other messages which you don't see in the newspaper. And some of it was very new, right? People never thought about it. And then they see it on Overpass. And they see it on Facebook from our documentation. So that's good, right? So we really think this is a very efficient way of fighting the evil, okay? Right where it's happening. So, you know, everybody's trying to take credit, right? Pro-lifers and gun rights people and us for the last election. And I think we have a big, you know, well, I think we are on the top, you know, of all those people. I don't want to diminish what everybody did. And so, so going forward, I think the analysis is the most important, and that's where we may differ. I agree with everything what Fred said. So there are 2 big things. One is from my perspective, okay. What I see is when you have socialism taking hold somewhere, you always have the suppression of religion. Okay, that's always on the top of their agenda. And so when you see that, that's like the tip of the iceberg that something's wrong. Okay, and yeah, of course there are other problems. You know, you have the economic collapse eventually and all that stuff, which people do care about, most people. But really, you know, if you really notice, the religious freedom aspect is like the red flag, you know. And well, I'll give you an example of what happened yesterday. You know, a director of Priests for Life, Father Frank Pavone, said this. You know, after they lost one of the court appeals, okay, just yesterday, he said, "As we have said from the beginning, Priests for Life will not obey the HHS mandate. To ask a group of priests to cooperate in the government's plan to expand access to birth control and abortion-inducing drugs is about as contrary to religious freedom as you can get." Okay, yesterday's statement. So can we relax after we won elections elsewhere, not in Illinois? Really, I agree with Fred. You know, I don't think we can relax anywhere in the U.S. Okay, that actually, and another reason I'm saying that, this was just one example, but again, the red flag. Okay. Now the other I have is, you know, we are pretty experienced with school system, the government schools here, and you know, because we've had 8 kids going through it, and so basically I want to say that the discrimination against Christians and pro-lifers has been intensifying. Okay, even as I speak. Okay, even this past week, we just noticed that, you know, my wife was in some meetings with the school administrators, that, you know, it's getting worse. Okay, I'm not going to go into details, but you know, that's just my angle. Okay, now, so we have a lot to accomplish. That's what I want to conclude with. Okay, thanks for listening and for participating in the whole effort here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.